I tried the craziest trend, so you don't have to. For the longest time, people have been putting their phones into rice to dry them out. But recently, people have been putting their phones in WD-40 to dry them out. And since WD-40 is a solvent, it dissolves the adhesive on your screen protector, which means you can get a free screen protector. Just put your phone in the WD-40, let it sit for a couple of hours, then take it out, wipe it down, and you're done. It's that simple. But there are a few problems with this. First of all, the WD-40 will eventually evaporate, but it leaves behind a nice little film on your screen protector that makes it look like new. But this doesn't work on all screen protectors. So if you have a tempered glass screen protector, it's not going to do anything because it's not an adhesive screen protector. So before you do this, check if your screen protector is adhesive or not. The second problem is that WD-40 is a bit abrasive. So when you put your phone in the WD-40, you're going to get some tiny little scratches on your screen. They're not really noticeable unless you're looking for them. But still, it's better to be safe than sorry. So before you do this, make sure you have a screen protector on, because the WD-40 will dissolve the screen protector, but it won't scratch your phone. And the third problem is that WD-40 is water displacement, which means it's going to get rid of any moisture in your phone. But the problem is that some phones have an open design where the charging port and the microphone holes are open to the air, which means they can get moisture in them. And if you live in a humid environment, then you're going to have moisture in your phone. So before you do this, make sure you have a waterproof case on, because otherwise the WD-40 might cause some problems. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let's see if this actually works. I have an iPhone 13 Pro and a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Both of these phones have adhesive screen protectors on them. So I am gone, put both of them in the WD-40 and let them sit for a couple of hours. Then we'll see what happens. Alright, so I just pulled the phones out of the WD-40, and the first thing I noticed is that the WD-40 did not evaporate at all. That S probably because these phones have a lot of heat in them, so it probably did unhelp that it was 90 degrees outside either, but I am not gone, risk it. I am gone, let these phones sit overnight in the WD-40, and then we see what happens. Alright, so I just pulled the phones out of the WD-40. And the first thing I noticed is that the WD-40 did not evaporate at all. That's probably because these phones have a lot of heat in them. So it probably didn't help that it was 90 degrees outside either. But I'm not going to risk it. I'm gone, let these phones sit overnight in the WD-40. And then we see what happens. Alright, so I let the phones sit in the WD-40 overnight, and the next morning I pulled them out and dried them off. And the screen protectors on both of these phones are completely gone. The only problem is that there is a bunch of tiny little scratches on both of these phones. So if you do this, make sure you have a screen protector on. But other than that, this actually worked really well.